Spoiler alert, if you are following these devotions using the Word for You Today devotional, we are doing a 2-for-1. So you can either watch today and spend your time with God tomorrow in another way, or you can stop halfway through and watch the rest of this video tomorrow, or you can spend some time in prayer this morning and watch this devotional tomorrow. It's your choice. Why am I telling you all this? Well, today and tomorrow's devotional is on the topic of Lazarus' story and ours. And since we don't have a devotional online tomorrow, we're doing them both today. So let's go. When Jesus was told that his friend Lazarus was ill, we read this in John 11:4. When he heard this, Jesus said, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." As we look at the story of Lazarus, we need to observe 6 things. Number 1, God has a plan in mind that we do not see. Why did Jesus wait 4 days after hearing Lazarus had died before going to visit the family? God waits for 2 reasons. First of all, that our faith may be strengthened. Jesus said in John 11, verses 14 and 15, "So then he told them plainly, 'Lazarus is dead, and for your sake I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to him.'" In life, crises come and they go. Your next crisis will be different from your last one. But the thing that must remain strong is your faith. Second, that God may be glorified. The Pharisees believed that your spirit left your body on the 4th day after death. Had Jesus intervened earlier, they may have said, "Well, not a big deal, he wasn't really dead." Hence Jesus' words, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." It's in looking back that you see God's wisdom and his will at work in the situation. The second observation is this: God will make you deal with issues that you have tried to bury. In John 11:39, Jesus said, "Take away the stone." "But Lord," said Martha, the sister of the dead man, "by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." I love the way this reads in the King James Version. "Lord, by this time he stinketh." Are you praying for an answer in one area while God is telling you to take away the stone and deal with an issue that you have buried in another day? When you clean your house, you don't forget to take out the trash, especially if you've made chicken, for it will stinketh. In the same way, as we clean out our lives, we have to remember to take out the trash. When your heart is right with God, 1 John 3:21 and 22 tells us, "Dear friends, if our hearts do not condemn us, we have confidence before God and receive from him anything we ask, because we keep his commands and do what pleases him." Observation number 3 is this: God will make you an example of his grace. Picture Lazarus after his resurrection. Without even speaking a word, his life declared to everyone that Jesus is Lord. And the same can be true of you. God has redeemed you and raised you up to be a testimony of his grace. Now, if you want to pause this now and watch the rest tomorrow, this is the place to do so. If not, let's keep going. Let's look again at 1 John 3:21 and 22. "Dear friends, if our hearts do not condemn us, we have confidence before God and receive from him anything we ask, because we keep his commands and do what pleases him." This verse moves us toward the 4th observation from the story of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead. And that is number 4, whatever you have lost, God can restore. One of the great promises in Scripture comes to us from Joel, the 2nd chapter, verse 25. I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten, the great locust and the young locust, the other locust and the locust swarm, my great army that I sent among you. God can restore to us the years that life has stolen. Claim that promise. Take it back to the place where you lost so much and ask God to replace, to restore, and to renew. He will do it. The fifth observation is this: whatever you're bound by, God can set you free. Listen to these words from John chapter 11, verses 41 to 44. So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I know that you always hear me. But I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me. And when he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. And the dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. Jesus said to them, take off the grave clothes and let him go. Today, God's power is greater than any habit, hang-up, or circumstance that may have us bound. Even though our minds don't fully comprehend it, let your faith respond to him. Pray these words from Psalm 119, verses 34 and 35. Give me understanding so that I may keep your law and obey it with all my heart. Direct me in the path of your commands, for there I find delight. When you pray that prayer, your faith will grow, and circumstances that seem impossible to you right now will be changed by God's power. Finally, the sixth observation is this: no matter how bad you feel, God understands. When Jesus went to the tomb of Lazarus, John 11:35 records the shortest verse in Scripture. Jesus wept. Then verse 36 reports, then the Jews said, see how he loved him. This story proves that we serve a God who can not only give you back what you have lost, but who cares about what you are going through. As Hebrews 4:15 reminds us, we can go to God, for we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin. And verse 16 gives us great advice. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. So if you're hurting today, turn to him and let him help you. That's the word for you today. I hope that you will join us this Sunday for worship at the Village Church at 9 or 11 a.m. And as always, if you can't make it in person, be sure to join us on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel at the Village Church at World Golf Village. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday morning with another thought from the Word for you today. God bless you.